Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Stractify Visual Arts channel, where I focus on concepts and techniques related to drawing and composition. We are still going through the perspective drawing series, and we are still going through 3-point perspective drawing. In this video, I am going to get into 3-point perspective distortion. Okay, and I'm going to do two. I want to say quick, but let me say two separate drawings that illustrates this concept as clearly as possible. And this is one of those techniques this is one of those parts of 3-point perspective or perspective in general that you can do a lot of experimentation with. You can have fun experimenting with this. So there's my HL. There is I'm going to bring the vanishing point in a little bit and make my drawing a little bit smaller because I'm going to need the space. But when dealing with perspective, you probably get the best when you're dealing with distortion in perspective. You get the best results when you're working on a bigger piece of paper and when you can really spread out quite a bit. So I'm going to put VP1 right here and VP2 right here. So I'm going to have bringing it in a little closer. I'm still going to have my vanishing point as far up as possible because I want most of the distortion to be influenced by these two vanishing points on the horizon line. I'm not so concerned with the distortion happening up here. Excuse me. All right, so we are good to go. Let me get started. So what you want to do is, well, first of all, to really sort of clarify things a little bit, this vanishing point automatically creates an invisible borderline, right? There we have it, invisible borderline. And if you want to take it to extremes, well, what I was going to say is that if you want to take it to extremes, you can claim that all your action needs to be within this space, right, between here, here, and here. That may not be entirely true. So let's leave this alone, but you definitely want to keep anything that you want to look normal, you definitely want to keep it within this space. Okay, anything beyond that space will distort. So the first thing I'll do to help illustrate this is I'm going to draw a box, a small box, very quickly in the middle of the space where it looks normal. I'm just going to do that very quick. Oh boy. I want to do it quickly so I don't have to be accurate, but I'm getting way inaccurate right there. So let's start that over again. That line there, that's better. Let that line there. Got a little careless there, guys. Happens sometimes. So there's a basic box, and I'm going to keep it keep the box kind of short. right, and then that's the height. Yeah, and keep the box short, and then when I outline the box, I am going to, I'm just going to do it by freehand. I'm just going to freehand it real quick. So, got that, that. So that's our little 3-point perspective box with the third vanishing point above the horizon line. And the box is within the space where it will look normal. It's not distorted in any way. So it's experiencing, it's either not experiencing distortion, or it's experiencing minimal distortion. The only distortion it's experiencing is the distortion of the line by me drawing it in a freehand style. So there we go. So there's our box. All right, so let's draw some boxes. I'll start with some boxes along the periphery. I'll then draw another box where one line is out and one line is in, and then I'll try and draw another box that's way out, okay? So let me go ahead and actually let me use colored lines, so you can tell the difference between all these these distorted boxes and the normal box. So I'm going to bring this real close here, like that, and this will come here like this, like that, and like that. I'm leaving some space where the box is so that the box can just stay clear. Okay, so let's connect those points to the third vanishing point. Okay, that was inaccurate, completely inaccurate. It's not hitting the point properly. It's a little better, I guess. And good, we're not having lines running into each other, so that's good. Okay, so that'll be the height right there. Right. And you know what, I'm just going to go ahead, connect these two. These two should connect automatically, and they do, kind of nicely. So darken the pen and darken that. So that's still looking a little normal. It is beginning to experience some distortion. Okay, so it's close enough that there might be a little bit of distortion taking place there, but it's still within the space where it's not experiencing a whole lot of distortion. It's still kind of normal. All right, so let's go ahead and with the green pen, so we've done this one on this side. Let's mess around with this side a little bit. So one line over the border, another line, one line outside, one line inside. Okay, and then we will come here to vanishing point number 1, and we will establish that base, the bottom of the box, like so. All right, and then from there, from each of the corners, strike a line to the third vanishing point. Okay, I'm not going to be messing around with any labeling or anything like that. I'm just going to do this very quickly. If this is your first time here, I have all the videos previous to this labeled and numbered in their according to whatever sequence, whatever part they are in the sequence. Go and watch those videos if you need to understand what I'm doing here right now. Okay, so I'm going to establish the height of the box. That's it right there. From that point to vanishing point 2, I'll do that. I'll do that. So I'm trying to speed things up a little bit. I'm not trying to rush it, but you know, I don't want this video to run overly long. But hey, it is what it is, as they say these days. Okay, so it's connected. Get the dark green pen. So and you can see that this box is substantially distorted. It's still recognizable as a box, but you can see it's getting a little bit warped. Okay, so there's that. All right, so I'm going to go back to the blue pen, and I am going to go over the edge of the box, over the edge of the border completely, and I'm going to put a box up here. So let me bring that over here, and this is what we're going to do. Reach, is the further, yeah, it'll reach fine. So let's go ahead. So that's the base of the box. You know what? Let me go and darken that so that, and I'll use the ruler. Just so that it is clear to you, the viewer. The camera shook just then. It is very close to my head. We have it positioned, and I bumped it a little bit. Apologies for that. All right, let me go ahead and connect all these corners to vanishing point 3. And we should get a weird, wonky little box that's doing weird things. So the height of this box is going to be, it's going to be the height of the box. So from vanishing point 2, and from, can that reach? I guess it can. Gives us that, and here is our box. Now the thing about this box is still in and out of the border. That's the way it worked out. I should have anticipated that. So the next box I draw, I want it to be completely outside the border. So what I should have done was just draw, instead of drawing in this way, I should have drawn out this way. So I'll do that over here. Okay, so this is distorted, getting a bit of distortion. This is still normal looking. Let me use orange for the next one. Okay, it's still writing. Concerned for a second because it was open, so I was hoping it didn't dry out. Okay, enough talk. Let's put you way out. Yeah, let's do it. There we go. I'm pausing to make sure I'm not making any mistakes. I want this to be a clear-cut example. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I think my short ruler can reach, so I'm going to project my lines out that way. Where am I? There I am. And right there. Okay, so that's what I've got going on. So with this, I am going to determine the height of this box. I do want it getting right there. Right there. And so with that, got this point, got this point. So from vanishing point 2, going to project out like that. It's going to give me this point, this point. And from here, ooh, I'm almost off the page. I don't like that. Almost. Probably give me that point right there. So we've got this and this. From vanishing point number 1, striking through there, I should hit that point exactly if I'm doing it right. And I just did. All right, so let me darken the lines so you can see that box. There you go. there you go. So, yeah, I think I should have done the normal one just by hand. I did this one by hand, but now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have I should have done all the colored boxes using the ruler so that you can clearly see the distortion taking place. I have a feeling if I just do it by hand, any distortion that you see might be attributed to me just doing it by hand. But the thing is that this box is still kind of normal. It's only distorted, like I said, it's distorted only minimally because it's close to the border. It's close to the first vanishing point. So I guess that's okay. All the other ones are either like these two, they're one in and one out, and then this one's completely out. So I guess I accomplished the same thing in the end. But you can see the distortion taking place. And this might be experiencing a little bit of distortion too because I've sort of squeezed in the vanishing points. So maybe I should have drawn the box even smaller for it to be a much more normal, undistorted box. All right, how many minutes in am I? Okay, so I'm going to cut it off here. I'm going to do one more. This will be the first part of distortion, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and do the second part, which will be even more extreme, and I will see you in that video. Leave your questions and comments down below, and I will try to get to them, and I will see you in the second part of this 3-point perspective distortion tutorial.